is beach resident family to beach seasonal salaries. Does somebody have any questions?
No, it's good news.
Great.
I need a motion.
So moved.
Second,
Call roll, please, Augie.
Trustees Winstrup,
Yes.
Natchez,
Yes.
Lucas,
Beach
yes,
resident family to beach seasonal salaries. Does somebody have any questions?
Hold on, sorry.
no, it's good news.
Great.
Hold on one second. We're having technical problems here.
Good to go. There's an audio issue. Loop back.
We okay now?
Yep.
All right.
All set.
Technical problem has been fixed.
call the roll.
Cliff was in here on his hands and knees fixing it. Yes, call the roll.
Trustees Winstrup,
Yes.
Natchez,
Yes.
Lucas,
Yes,
the four,
Yes.
Mayor Murphy.
The next item on the agenda is the abstract of ordered vouchers. Tonight's total is $2,689,882.56. Tidy sum. Anybody have any questions or concerns?
I have a couple. If I can get from page 7, if I can get to that.
Page 7.
Page 7.
Okay, what is it?
I don't know yet. I gotta get to page 7.
That's Kellard Sessions.
Kellogg Sessions. I guess what I'm curious about, just hold on. It's none of these are indicated that these are escrow, so I don't understand what we're doing if they're not escrow.
Incident,
For instance, 207 Grand Street, 473 Palmer.
Dan, it's going directly to the engineering line, which means it's not an escrow account.
Okay, then my question is, what are we doing that we're paying for it without an escrow?
Yeah, I'll have to look at that. So I didn't look at it. Dan, when you put these in, 207, how come we have two addresses? Are these both addresses that they did the site?
No, I think 207, they're no longer at the planning board, so it may have been that they were reviewing something that was already approved. Let me pull up the bill.
You got to speak louder, Dan. I can't hear you.
I'm checking right now. See where I can get the KVS.
I think what we need for the future, Augie, for non-escrow, we need a description of what it is. Augie, are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Can we do that? There's a room enough? I mean, you have a lot of lines here.
Place more of a description on these non-escrow items. Understood.
Okay, I think it's important to figure out what we're doing here.
Yeah, I'm looking here. Let's see. I think this may have to do with the SWIP that was for the property. I see some emails dating back to March of this year. Let me do this one.
Then shouldn't it have been an escrow?
And can you repeat that? Or speak
Yeah,
closer to the microphone or speak
I have
louder?
to. I think we'd have to follow up with.
Okay, so follow up and get back to us, please.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Dan?
Yes.
Yes.
Dan Sonoff. If
Yes.
that was for the SWIP, shouldn't that have been an escrow?
I don't know. It was part. it was on the non-escrow bill, which is why it got charged here. But we can review this with Keller Sessions to make sure it's either charged appropriately or we'll have a correct answer for you.
Okay. Any other questions from the board?
On page 29, what did Sessions do with the police regarding the police parking lot?
Repaving of the police parking lot.
It doesn't say repaving.
Yeah, so we need drainage work done there. Let me see. Let me go to it.
Page 29.
Page 29, Jerry. Top
Police
of-
parking lot, site plan. So what we're doing at the police parking lot, which was a list, which was an item left over from the list of the paving, is that we're repairing a drainage issue where it floods out at the basement door of the police parking lot. We also have a
Okay.
wall that's giving way. So this is due to a meeting that I had with Keller
Okay.
Sessions engineer, our consulting engineer, about the site plan and getting getting that put together for resurfacing, repair, resurfacing, and rebuilding the wall.
And on page 30 is the Westchester Joint Waterworks. Is this for the Shore Acres Drive line that we previously approved?
You're talking about the $120,000?
That
Yes.
is correct.
Check.
Or is this something else?
I will, let me find that for you and I can give you an answer.
What page was that? 28?
30.
Page 30.
30? What line? I'm sorry?
It's the top, it's the second line. Shore Acres Replacement Water Main.
It's charters for various capital projects.
Oh, okay, okay.
That's the, yes, that would be the Shore Acres project.
Jerry is working water main.
It's for the Shore Acres Water.
Yes.
All right.
Well, is it, my question is, was this the one on Shore Acres Drive or something else?
Uh, The 1361.
The only water main they replaced was at Shore Acres Drive.
Well, that's what I'm trying to verify.
Okay, it's the only water main they replaced.
Okay, yeah, it was approved by the board last October. 875 feet of transite water main on Shore Acres Drive. Yep. So it was for the transite water main on Shore Acres Drive.
Okay, so, okay, thank you.
Anybody else on the board?
I have two questions. Regarding Keller Sessions, are we gonna pay it or wait till we know? And on page 2, is CoreLogic, I guess, is that another way of just refunding real estate?
Uh-huh.
So sure, what I mean,
These are overpayments from CoreLogic, the escrow. I was asking Augie about this on Friday so he could help me understand. Basically, I guess they make estimates of what is going to be due and they pay based on their estimate. And when the actual tax bill comes in lower, we have to refund the individual properties. Is that an accurate paraphrasing of what you told me on
That's
Friday,
correct.
Aug?
That's correct, yeah.
Thanks.
thank you.
Any other questions?
I have a question comment on the Keller Sessions. So what the decision is to hold? Because I do have kind of the same concern that it is not entirely clear. I try to figure this out. Sometimes, and had a quick look at the bills, sometimes they just tell you the name of the project, time, the rate, but they don't tell you what they're doing, which I think it's central for any consultant. Sometimes they do break it down, but it's not consistent. So it's very hard. It's really hard. One good thing, and I know we're just making steps to getting better. One thing is that it's broken down, because then that's going to facilitate I think the main discussion, which is Should it be escrow? Should it not be escrow? How much is the cost versus the general fees that we charge, to figure out if in the future some of this charges should be singled out. For example, the stormwater, the stormwater plans. I think if they go to the planning board, yes, they should be escrowed. If not, it all depends. We need to identify the project and how much it's really costing us. So this is a good thing, a really good thing. But I'm not clear if we have then the identification of what is being charged to us and the actual activity. So I think we're very close, but still I can't get this breakdown, and I don't think maybe it's clear from staff. So maybe pull it out and have it all cleared, and then we kind of know how to pass this ones. I know it'll hold them, but I just want to hear all your thoughts.
Yeah, I believe for 453 Palmer Avenue, that was I think that was a building permit application with a SWIP. That was not so I think that is not a planning board item. I'm just quickly reviewing the memo here. Yeah, it said proposing in conjunction with the above reference application. The applicant is proposing construction of 2 bluestone patios, multiple walkways, and a retaining wall. Opposed to replace an existing concrete walkway with gravel. So that was 453 Palmer Avenue. So that would not be a planning board level item.
All right, you know what, Jan? Instead of going through every one of these items and trying to figure out what is and what isn't, why don't we just, because I think the sense of folks is that they want to hold this off until August.
Okay.
So if you have information between now and the August meeting, please give it to the Board of Trustees. And if the Board of Trustees has any more questions about bills before, try and get them to the staff beforehand so that we can get this stuff cleared up and not cleared up at the meeting. So does everybody want to make a motion? If you don't have your questions, we should entertain a motion removing the Kellogg session bills of $10,994.25.
So move.
Second.
Augie Paul. The new total, $2,678,888.31. Did the math already.
Before we vote, I have another comment. It relates to relates to page 28, Flagler Drive, 294. I looked at that bill, and all they were was just joint waterwork bills. And my suggestion is that now you ask them to give us really the percentage that we're paying every time for the project, because I thought we had already done the final payment a while back, and it keeps adding and adding, and it just tells you, it just describes more. It just tells you the invoice just tells you if it's labor or if it's materials. In this case, it is. Trying to figure it out. I don't think I actually. Seems to be. Sorry, it's not even clear. My point is it's very hard. And as you know, I've been trying to track down how the projects are being paid, and the point, my concern is that they only give you the total amount that we approved early on. For example, in this case, it was 3.3 million that we approved, and it was under certain special circumstances. Then when it was bid, it came down significantly, but we don't know really what is the total amount of the cost. For example, at this rate, I don't know where we are. Is this the final payment or not? So I think something has to be improved as to how Joint Waterworks submits these bills. I don't want to object to the level of stopping this or the other bills, but for the last 3 times that we've received bills, I've been comparing them, and there's no clarity as to what is the total amount, where are we in the project. So I think that is central, and even some of the description, because we're just paying towards total approval that we did at the beginning, but we don't know really where we are in the project. So I think since the mayor is on the board, maybe we can figure something out into the future.
Certainly, and as I've said before, if you people come to me with questions, I'd be happy to get answers.
Right.
And I would have had an answer for you tonight.
No, well, that's why I said I don't have this. We got this over the weekend. I just saw this. I asked for the invoices today. I've been busy. So that's why I raised it today, because I don't think there's an objection of how to pay it, but it really we need to improve that. So let's take it from now. Mayor, please.
As that being said, Augie, call the roll.
Trustees Winstrup,
Yes.
Natchez,
Yes.
Lucas,
Yes.
Tofor,
Yes.
Mayor Murphy.
Aye. Next item on the agenda, resolution authorizing IMA with Westchester County for fire apparatus radios. Jerry, you want to talk about this for a second?
Mayor, I wish we could. I know Dan set this up, but this was something that came through while I was out. And I think it's the replacement of the radios in the vehicles, in the apparatus itself, in the actual trucks and SUVs, which the county will take up or pay for with no expense to us.
Sounds like a bargain. Anybody have any questions?
I think the comment is they have like their own three levels of radio. I got 3. This is that kind of the third one, which is the pager, and so this will take care of that one level. We still have to they still have to make some improvements in the other 2, but it's good that at least level 3 is done.
Good.
That was discussed at the fire council.
Good.
Okay, anybody want to make a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll.
Trustees Winstrup,
Yes.
Natchez,
Yes.
Lucas,
Yes.
Tofor,
Yes.
Mayor Murphy.
Aye. The next is a resolution authorizing to execute an IMA with Westchester County for solid waste and recyclables for disposal. This is pretty much the standard agreement that we approve every year.
A long time now.
Yeah, this is the, it's 09.
Concerns?
What I find interesting is you're penalized if you exceed the amount you're recycling. I find that ludicrous and backwards.
Yeah, the mark.
The penalty is if more than 10% of what you submit for recycling is not recyclables, the county will charge us the full freight for solid waste to that total.
So they don't want trash and recycling material.
Oh, yes, it's just if you're putting cinder blocks in your recycling material,
Yeah,
which has happened.
yeah, they want to contain that. They basically want us to monitor it.
Are we monitoring it and are we exceeding it, or are we?
I don't recall the time that I've been here that I've been notified that we exceeded it. So I think we're doing, plus we separate, recycling is only happening one day. So it's being done by hand. And I'm sure that if there's material that shouldn't be in there, it gets rejected and left behind, which of course the homeowner can put in the trash the next day.
And all the recyclables are loose, so once they dump it into the hopper, they'll see what's in there.
Correct.
Okay, I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Call roll, Woody.
Trustees Winstrup,
Yes.
Natchez,
Yes.
Lucas,
Yes,
the floor,
Yes.
Mayor Murphy.
Aye. Okay, that takes care of the AP and the small items. Does anybody want to make a motion to go into executive session?
yeah, are we gonna go in for the two items? Do we have to amend what's on the agenda?
If you make the motion,
So I'm gonna make a motion to go into executive session. Advice of counsel for the litigation Goldstein versus Village of Amerenik under 1051D. And also a letter from Kathy Zabel under 1051F, the employment history of a particular person or corporation or matters leading to the appointment, employment, promotion, demotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of a particular person or corporation.
Can you help me understand how Kathy's letter
falls under that.
falls under that?
Well, I mean, I think because it's about something that the ethics board did. So it's there, she's asked us to review something that the ethics board did.
But that's not the employment history of a particular person.
Well, that's the loose, if, I think if we're, we could, I mean, we have not discussed this for a full month. We've had the letter for a full month, and I think that we need to discuss it. It's not on the work session now, but I think there's a question about whether the ethics board did something that shouldn't have been done, and that's what she's asked us to explore. So I guess it's up to Bob. Does he think it's under, is it something that we discuss in an open session, at which point we'll put it on the agenda in 2 weeks, or is it something for executive session? I think that's up to the attorney.
I mean, I'm certainly open to an argument that it is an executive session, but I don't see it at this point. It deals with a matter that's publicly out there. I mean, the board doesn't have authority to remove members of the ethics board or take some action against members of the ethics board. So I'm not sure what she's asking the board to do here.
Well, it's pretty clear in the letter. So, I mean, the question is, do we discuss it in an open session in 2 weeks, or do we discuss it in an executive session? When we had, about a month ago when it came up, we just decided not to do it in an executive session that day, that we would postpone it. So that's why I recommended it this way. I don't have a preference. I just think we need to get it on an agenda and discuss it.
I'm looking at the letter now. I mean, she's asking that the Board of Ethics, or that the record of the mayor's hearing with regard to Ms. Goldstein be corrected. And then she raises her indemnification claim. I mean, it's really about the
record of hearing.
yeah, it's about what happened at the hearing. I'm not trying to be difficult, or I'm open to an argument, but I don't see it.
I agree. I don't know in what venue is the appropriate venue to discuss it. It's not about what happened at the hearing. It's about the letter that the Board of Ethics wrote describing her actions.
Which is part of the hearing record.
Part of the hearing record, right? But I think her question was about the June 10th letter from the Ethics Board. I think that's what she's asking.
I mean, the default is you don't do it in executive session. I'm not seeing an argument that it should be done in executive session.
So then we put it on
the argument is the argument that it regards the employment qualification, et cetera, of the members of the ethics board.
I mean, the argument is that a month ago, we didn't do it in executive session because the session was too full. And so no one raised that at that point. If it's something that we should do in an open session, let's do it in an open session in 2 weeks.
I mean, like I said, as I said, I'm open to an argument, but I don't see it at this point. I could be convinced, but I don't see it at this point as an executive.
I mean, we should have addressed it a month ago when, the first time, we should have addressed it a month ago. So we haven't addressed it. No one raised that argument when I asked it to be
A
put
month
in
ago.
executive session. So I don't have a preference. I think we just need to make a decision about whether we do it now or whether we do it in 2 weeks.
I think that we have discussed the question of indemnification raised in the letter twice in executive session. But this other issue about the record itself, we haven't. And I don't think I'm like Bob, I'm happy to try to understand why it should be discussed in executive session. But I certainly don't mind putting it on the agenda for the next work session.
So let's put it on the agenda for the next work session.
I personally don't see how it's a discussion for the Board of Trustees, since it's, you know, the record is the record of the mayor's hearing. But I'm willing to talk about the next work session. So is somebody going to second Nora's motion to go in for the
Well, I'm
Goldstein?
going to withdraw the motion and let's just do it at the work session in 2 weeks.
Okay, do you still want to do Goldstein versus Mamaronek?
Yes.
Please make that motion. Let's just start all over, so it's
I'm going
clean.
to starting all over again. It's a do-over. I'm making a motion to go into executive session under 105(1)(d) of the open meetings law for litigation of Goldstein versus the Village of Mamaroneck.
Second.
Or we call roll.
Trustees Winstrup,
Yes.
Natchez,
Yes.
Lucas,
Yes.
the four,
Yes.
Mayor Murphy.
No. But I'll see you in executive session. I'm just gonna take a quick break and I'll be right back.
It looks like she's about 7.
Yeah, that's actually a very expensive one. It's an Apple,
It's her first laptop. It's a starter laptop.
an expensive laptop. Depending on which model you have, it's an Apple MacBook Pro she has.
We're waiting for Kelly to come back. Kelly on?
I'm back.
She's there.
Oh, hi. Is the whole gang here?
Whole gang.
We've just come out of executive session where we took no vote. We discussed Goldstein litigation. I'd entertain a motion to enter to exit the AP minor items meeting of July 27th.
Second.
Who made the motion?
Oh, sorry, I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Okay.
Thank you, ladies. Please call roll.
Trustees Winstrup,
Yes.
Natchez,
Yes.
Lucas,
Yes.
DeFour,
Yes.
Mayor Murphy.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Right.
Right?
Aye.
Thank you.
Baby, you just ain't seen nothing yet. Wait a minute, I'm getting jacked.